Good morning, students. Welcome to Science Concepts. So, in the last topics, we studied about the absorption, and then we studied about the mechanism of absorption. So now we'll study about the thermodynamics of absorption. That how your absorption it depends upon Gibbs free energy or enthalpy, entropy, temperature. So you must be aware of this equation. This is Gibbs Helmholtz equation, or it's known as Gibbs free energy. Delta G is your Gibbs free energy, and delta H is your enthalpy. Enthalpy means change in heat, and your delta S is entropy. So you must have studied this equation in your 11th class. So according to thermodynamics, if we want anything to be feasible, or if we want any reaction to take place, the value of delta G, it should be less than 0 or it should be negative. So that means if we want adsorption to take place, the value of delta H should be negative. It should be negative. So what happens during adsorption? Whenever adsorption takes place, there is decrease in surface residual forces. I told you in my earlier lecture what are residual forces. These are unbalanced forces which are present in the surface molecules due to the downward force, due to the force that is applied in the downward direction by the bulk molecules, and from one side they will not get any force from the outside. So just to balance their residual forces, they undergo the process of adsorption. So now there is decrease in surface residual forces, so due to which there is decrease in surface energy. So when the surface energy decreases, it appears as heat. It means, I told you earlier also, that our surface that our adsorption is a exothermic process. So how it is happening? In adsorption, what is happening? Surface residual forces are decreasing. Because of their decrease, there is decrease in surface energy. When surface energy is decreasing, that appears in the form of heat. So if the process is exothermic, then the delta H, according to thermodynamics, the value of delta H will be it is negative. And now what is going on? So here we have surface. The molecules of the surface, or the molecules present on the surface, they are attracting the molecules of the adsorbate. They are attracting the molecules of adsorbate towards itself. It means the particles which were moving randomly above the surface, the particles of the adsorbate, they are moving randomly above the surface. They get adsorbed on the adsorbent. That means our entropy is also decreasing. What is entropy? That is the degree of randomness. So randomness is decreasing. If it is decreasing, the value of delta S will be it will also be negative. So as the molecules are adsorbed, and there will be decrease in the randomness. I told you that if the entropy is decreasing, that means randomness is decreasing, and its value is becoming negative. So what is there now? For delta H, for this reaction to be spontaneous, for adsorption to be spontaneous, I told you your delta G should be less than 0, or you can say it should be negative. And how the value of delta G will be negative? If the value of delta H will become more and more negative. When delta H will become more and more negative, we'll say the value of delta G will become negative. Or what is another condition? What can be the another condition if we want delta G to be negative? The value of delta H should always be greater than the value of T delta S in magnitude. So these are the two conditions. But during adsorption, what happens as the adsorption takes place? Now I told you, as the adsorption takes place, the value of delta H is becoming more and more negative. When the value of delta H is becoming more and more negative, it will result in the delta G. When it will go more and more negative, the delta G will also become negative. That means what is happening over there? Adsorption is taking place, or the rate of adsorption is increasing. But at some point, what happens? When your adsorption proceeds. Now, earlier also we studied that in the beginning the rate of adsorption increases, and as the adsorption proceeds further, the rate of adsorption decreases, and finally it will attain equilibrium. Now, why this is happening? If we study it according to thermodynamics, what is happening? As the adsorption proceeds, what happens? Delta H, it keeps on decreasing, and T delta S keeps on increasing. So till what time this will take place, that the value of delta H is decreasing and the value of T delta S is increasing? Till delta H it becomes equal to T delta S. So what is happening? delta H जो है उसकी वैल्यू जो है that is decreasing, वो कम होती जा रही है. When this is decreasing, the value of T delta S is increasing, and this is happening till the values of delta H is becoming equal to delta T delta S. And when this happens, we'll say that the value of G becomes equal to 0. And when this becomes equal to 0, delta G becomes equal to 0, then we'll say equilibrium has been attained. Fine. So what is there? The adsorption rate will remain it will remain high till the delta G value will remain negative, or till the delta G value remain less than 0. But as the adsorption proceeds, what happens? Delta H, it will become equal to T delta S. And if we want the adsorption to take place at higher rate, the delta H value should be greater than T delta S, or it should be decreasing, and this value should remain increasing for adsorption to occur. But this cannot be happen. At last, when it proceeds, at last what happens? These two values will become equal to one another, attaining the equilibrium. So this was all about the thermodynamics that is related to your adsorption process. Now we have types of adsorption. How many types of adsorption are there? We have two types of adsorption. One is your physical adsorption, and the another is your chemical adsorption. What is physiosorption? What is the other name? Physiosorption for physical adsorption, chemisorption for chemical adsorption. So what happens here? We have two different types of forces playing important role in these two different types of adsorptions. So what is there? When we talk about physical adsorption, in physical adsorption, the gas is adsorbed on the surface of solid by van der Waal forces. So you must have studied in your 11th class that van der Waal forces, these are weak intermolecular forces. Now what are intermolecular forces? You must know that. What are intermolecular forces? Intermolecular forces means forces present between two molecules. So It means the forces those are present between the molecules in physiosorption. Those forces are weak and they will not form any bonds between adsorbate and adsorbent. In case of chemisorption, what is there? The molecules, they get adsorbed, but when they get adsorbed, they make chemical bonds with the surface of the adsorbent. So bond formation takes place in case of chemisorption. So I have written here, when the molecule of the adsorbate are held to the surface of the adsorbent by chemical forces or chemical bonds, then your adsorption is known as chemisorption or chemical adsorption. So now we'll discuss more points of difference between them. So next is your non-specific and specific. Now your physiosorption is non-specific in nature. Non-specific, or we can say it is less specific in nature, because van der Waals forces are there. So these are universal forces. So all gases, they get adsorbed on the surface of the solid to some extent. So in my earlier lecture, I told you about the critical temperature also, that how the adsorption of gases depend on critical temperature. So that is related to your physiosorption or physical adsorption. But in case of chemical or chemisorption or chemical sorption, it is highly specific. It will take place only when bond formation takes place between adsorbate and adsorbent. Suppose if the adsorbate and adsorbate, they cannot form any chemical bonds in between them, then chemisorption will not take place. Then we can say adsorption will not take place. So it is highly specific because it involves bond formation. It is less specific because it involves van der Waals forces, and all gases, they get adsorbed on the same solid to different extent. Then, so this is a physical process. In this, there is no bond formation takes place. So we can say physiosorption or physical adsorption is reversible. It is reversible in nature, and this is irreversible in nature. Then we have low activation energy. So what is activation energy? You must know this. So activation energy is that energy which is required that is a minimum amount of energy that is required to start the reaction. So because chemical bonds are forming in case of chemical adsorption, so we'll say their activation energy is high. So they require high activation energy because of formation of bonds. Here we do not require much of activation energy because bonds are not involved. Then it forms multilocular layers. What happens? See, now we know the surface molecules, they are under unbalanced forces, or we can say they have some residual forces. So to balance these residual forces, the surface molecules, they start attracting the molecules of the adsorbent which will come in contact. So they keep on attracting the molecules. In turn, these molecules will get their residual forces. Then these will start balancing themselves. When these will start balancing themselves, these will attract the other layer of particles. Now these will come under tension. These will in turn, they will attract more of adsorbate particles over it. So in this way we can see layer of molecules. It is forming layer of molecules. So that is why we say physical adsorption is your multimolecular. It forms multimolecular layers. But in case of your chemisorption, unimolecular layer is formed. Suppose let's take example. This is the surface of adsorbent, and the particles of this adsorbent, they form bonds with the adsorbate particles. So once they will form bonds, they will become balanced. So now they do not require, they are not required to attract more of the particles. So only one layer will remain there. The surface particles itself are there, and the other layer will be your adsorbate layer. The molecules of adsorbate will be there above the surface molecules. So that's why it forms unimolecular layer. Then next, so here we have low heat of adsorption. When adsorption process is taking place, low heat of adsorption is released, near about 30 to 40 kilojoule per mole. But in case of chemisorption, high heat of adsorption produces. So we can say, now we know our adsorption rate is what? It is exothermic process. So when physical adsorption takes place, less amount of heat produces. When chemisorption takes place, high amount of heat produces or releases during the rate of adsorption. Then we have next, it occurs readily at low temperature. Your physical adsorption, it takes place at low temperature, but it will decrease with increase in temperature, because when we increase the temperature, the increase in temperature will increase the kinetic energy of the molecules, and the molecules which gets absorbed on the surface, they will start coming out from the layers, or the desorption will start taking place at higher temperature. So that's why it occurs better at lower temperature. And in case of chemisorption, it first increases with increase in temperature, but then it decreases regularly. So hope you have understood the lecture till here. So thank you, and in the next topic I'll discuss adsorption isotherms with you. Thank you so much.